Ralathar Renar is here, chiming in on how you can get mundanes to hate furries less by Sylvester Fox. Hello again, Sylvester Fox. Anyways, continuing. He says, you know, what the hell, go ahead and say that the fandom is a fetish. You'll probably get better acceptance. And he uses a couple examples. Let me go through this a little bit. I heavily disagree, by the way. First of all, he says, okay, person A says, I like people to shit on my chest. It gets a rise out of me. I love it. And person B says, it's a spiritual thing. The problem with this is that furries and fetishes are separate. It's not a spiritual thing to have someone shit on your chest. If someone has that as a spiritual nature, that is something completely separate from both the fetish and the furry fandom. Now, it's capable of having, you know, multiple interests entwined, like you can have furry and a fetish, just like you could be goth and like BDSM. You could be goth and maybe you don't like it rough, maybe you like it gentle. You could be goth and have water sports fetish. I mean, it doesn't exclude you for anything. It doesn't include you for anything. They're separate. The group that you're in and the sexual fetishes you hold are quite simply separate. And your spiritual beliefs as well. Furry has a wide range of spiritual beliefs in it. So I don't know how he was trying to tie that in together except to throw it out there and see if it sticks, but like a turd, it ran down the wall leaving a nasty trail. I'm sorry for that visual. Anyways, next he moves on to the BDSM community, saying, hey, you know, it's very well accepted now. Not necessarily everyone's going to be, yay, BDSM, but they're not going to witch hunt it. Well, you know, he's right. But here's the reason. BDSM is not near as risque as it was in the past. It's much more commonplace. I would almost go to the point to where, say, it's borderline mundane. Because it's simply done so much now. People don't necessarily have to be hardcore BDSM, but a lot of people these days do appreciate aspects of BDSM. Maybe they like a little rough play in the bedroom. Maybe they like, a little denial. The feeling of not being in power or being in power. Just, you know. And it's become blasé, honestly. It used to be like, ooh, that's weird, that's interesting, that's satanic to some people. And now, it's so common, it's just like, oh, BDSM, okay. But, I mean, honestly, it doesn't really change a thing. Though I might mention he had it was a Back to You episode he mentioned the furries on. I believe the line was, wait. People dress up in animal costumes and don't have sex? How twisted is that? I know because I favorited it at one point. But, besides the point, I mean, just, if you make us into a fetish, then you'll lost all progress that we've made so far. And we really have made progress. We're getting a lot more fair coverage. We're still growing as a fandom when we're getting better known. And, you know, honestly, as the furry population as a whole rises in age, as older people do tend to retain the fandom for a good while, and educate the newer people into the fandom from their years of experience, and kind of help them cope and get along with all the stuff here, the maturity level of the fandom is rising as well. And now, there's always, oh my god, always going to be examples of people who are not mature that are handling things wrong. That goes for any group. But the fandom as a whole is maturing. And it's being noticed. And when we're in the public spotlight, we take care, for the most part, that, you know, because if we do this, even though this group could do it and that group could do it, we know that we will be hung up to dry for it. And we are making progress. Me, for example, maybe I'm an exception to a rule, My family knows that I'm furry. My friends know that I'm furry. My workplace knows that I'm furry. I have told them about this before I signed up for Furry Fiesta and requested my vacation, because they wanted to know what the vacation was for. I said, what the hell? A couple people in the job already know, so I'll go ahead and tell everybody. I work with a bunch of nerds anyways. I figure some of them probably had exposure to it, good or bad. I've gotten some light ribbing, and when I left today, which will be my last day before I go on vacation, tell everyone bye for, a week or so that I'm going to be gone. I got a couple jokes on it and everything, and they're like, bring this and that, make sure you don't get raped before you get back. And they're like, by the time I got out of there, they're like, no, just have a good time, man. And I mean, if more people would just not be afraid of it, if more people would step forward and face the risks, face the know fully what you're getting yourself into first. Know that, you might have people be complete dumbasses about it. It is possible that you could lose a friend over it. But then again, if you lost a friend over it, what kind of friend were they? Obviously, they didn't know you that well, and obviously they were not that good of a friend. You could possibly get fired from work for it, from someone's prejudices. But that could very well be brought up in court, especially if you're, taking care of your job and not doing anything stupid. I mean, just if more people were willing to step outside of their comfort zone and show that it's a hobby, not a weird sexual fetish, not this and that, rather than be scared by society and hide behind everything, then we'd probably be further along right now. But because of all the stereotypes, we've hid for a little bit. We've been afraid to say, this and say that, because if I say this, what if they do this? What if they do that? And that's what it boils down to. If you go out right now and you say that the whole fandom is a sexual fetish, not only do you destroy our credibility and any chance that we have for years to profess to be anything else, but you're hurting every single person in the fandom that holds it in a clean manner. And you know what? You can hold it in a clean manner and still have your own sexual fetishes. I'm sorry. You can be furry and have porn of weird shit, but you know what? That's no different than if you were normal and have porn of weird shit. The furry aspect doesn't really have much to do with that. You like what you like. So, that's all I gotta say. Ralthar Renaris signing out.